Senhoras e senhores, sua atenção nesse momento para recebermos as equipes que vão enfrentar nesse jogo de basquetebol Champions League Américas. Agora vamos receber a equipe Paisas Basquetebol Clube, número 0, Thomas Robinson, número 1, Juan Cartenas, número 5, Juan Salcedo, número 8, Christian Arboleta, número 9, Yusuf Pereira, número 11, Marcelo McCartney, número 15, Andrés Carmona, número 17, Ed Griffin, número 20, Álvaro Peña, número 24, Victor Luiz, número 89, Durrell Summers, comandado pelo técnico Daniel.
Good evening and welcome into Maracanazinho in Rio de Janeiro Brazil for tonight's Basketball Champions League America's quarterfinal Game 2 matchup between Paisas Basketball Club of Medellin and Flamengo of Rio. Alongside Andy Schimmelman, I'm Craig Feta, and we're so glad you can be with us tonight wherever you're watching from, the USA on FanDuel TV, in South America on DirecTV, and around the rest of the world on the BCL America's YouTube channel and Courtside 1891. Well, a few games can be decided by one crucial play, and despite a 17-point margin of victory for Flamengo over Paisas in quarterfinal action on Sunday in Medellin, it might indeed have been one play that propelled the favorites from Brazil to victory on the host's home floor. Paisas, which came into the quarterfinals with a 3-3 record and a second-place finish in Group A, had a chance late after being down 11. A Thomas Robinson floater cut the lead to 76-70 with 5:22 to play, but then, with 5:01 on the clock, Robinson missed a breakaway dunk that would have cut the lead to 4. The miss spurred Flamengo to score 9 straight points and finish the game on a 13-2 run and an 89-72 win to take a 1-0 lead in the best-of-3 series. Robinson finished with 17 points and 11 rebounds for Paisas. Durrell Summers had 13, Eric Griffin had 11, and Victor Luiz led all scorers with 25 points. Alexi Borges just missed a triple-double for Flamengo, finishing with 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists. Ruan Miranda finished with 15 points and 11 boards, while Guy Deodato, Caio Manfio, and Taya Galizzi all scored in double figures. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for Daniel Seoane and Paisas. It's going to be Thomas Robinson, Juan Salcedo, Eric Griffin, Victor Luiz, and Durrell Summers. One change from the game on Sunday. It's going to be Juan Salcedo in place of Maceo McCadney in the starting lineup. As we got a look just a moment ago at the back of Daniel Seoane. One more game tonight after this one, as Real Esteli host Boca Juniors from Polideportivo Alexis Arguello in Managua. Boca lead that series 1-0. That one will tip off at 7:40 local time, 9:40 Eastern Daylight in the USA. Game 3 of this series, if Paisas are able to outlast Flamengo, would be tomorrow at 7:10 local time, right back here at Maracanazinho in Rio. And there was the starting lineup for Sergio Hernandez. Remember, Sergio joined the team February 28th. And he's going to be starting Jordan Williams, Shaquille Johnson, Kyle Manfio, Ruan Miranda, and Alexi Borges. Same starting lineup as Sunday. There you get a look at Oveja. Our officials for tonight's game: Leonardo Salazar of Argentina, Juan Fernandez of Argentina, and Claudio Osorio of Chile. A couple of minutes away from tip-off, and Andy Schimmelman. This Paisas basketball team, featuring Victor Lees and Eric Griffin and now Thomas Robinson and Darrell Summers as well, they are explosive, and they hung with Flamengo right up until about the 5-minute mark of that fourth quarter. And if Andy is with us, I cannot hear him. Again, the perils of remote broadcasting. Full disclosure, I am at my home studio in the USA, Andy in Buenos Aires, and this game in Rio de Janeiro. So we are all over North and South America as we get a look at former Venezuela national team head coach Daniel Seoane. Paisas really turned things around when they brought in Victor Lees and Eloy Vargas. Eloy Vargas battling an injury, not on the roster tonight. He was the leading rebounder in this tournament heading into the quarterfinals, 10.8 boards per game. And what a tournament Alexi Borges is having. 14.4 points, 4 rebounds, and 7.6 assists per contest. That's good for second in the event.
Hey, Craig.
Hey, there's Andy Schimmelman. How are you doing, Andy?
All good, all good. I was listening to your description, and just quickly before we tip off, and I do apologize. I think you hit it right on the head. I think offensively speaking, this Paisas squad can compete. They actually do average 85.4 points per game to the Flamengo's 90.1. The question is defensively on the backside. Are they going to be able to stop this very, very potent Brazilian team playing at home in a very mythical, legendary stadium as well, right next to the Maracanã?
Shaquille Johnson giving the ball a couple of bounces, giving his okay to the official, saying, yeah, well, that's good, that's fine. Ball is in the air, and we are underway. Paisas win the tip, and they get the first crack at the offense. Lees. Just an unbelievable tournament for Victor Lees at 38 years old, averaging 27 points per game, had back-to-back 34-point games in his first two in this event as Robinson misses the bucket high off the glass, and now Borges into the corner. 3 on the way. And Shaquille Johnson gives Flamengo an early 3-0 lead. Now here's Lees. He launches a tray of his own. Back iron, no. Tried to sell the call by going down onto the deck. No whistle.
A mistake right there between Gajo Manfio and Ruan Miranda. They both went for the rebound. It stays Paisas basketball.
Yeah, that's a nice break for Paisas. Now Summers outside to Robinson. Salcedo. And the pull-up from about 5 feet away, airballed. And you really have to feel, Andy, for Thomas Robinson. He played a great game, 17 points, 11 rebounds. and then missed the dunk, which would have cut the lead to 4. And you could tell how upset he was. He wasn't trying to showboat or anything. I think he was just trying to go for a dunk on a breakaway and further inspire his team, and they just missed it. And just all the wind went out of the sails of Paisas after that.
Yeah, no question, Craig. And I think when you have a team like Paisas, as Gadio Manfio scores the bucket, you have to take advantage of those little windows of opportunities. You're not going to get many, at least not. That's not what we anticipate.
And we do have to say, every time Manfio scores his first bucket of the game, which he did just there a moment ago, as that three-pointer from way outside is good. Juan Salcedo cuts the lead to 2, but Manfio in the quarters last year against Obras scored 28 points on 10 of 10 shooting, 7 of 7 from three-point range, and hit his only free throw attempt. So my partner and I at the time, Andrew Hunt, we called that the Cayo. So every time he does something for the first time in a game, we have to run that back. And he's a guy who can take over a game. He's young, 25 years old, but he's got the talent and the explosiveness. Any game he's in, if he gets off like that, as Jordan Williams hits from along the baseline, Manfio can really take over a game.
Yeah, for sure. He's one of the many interesting players in this Flamengo squad. Very, very deep also when it comes to thinking about the bench. We get a foul on the floor.
When we talk about the bench, in particular for Flamengo, the guy that we have to talk about is Guy Deodato. And in the last game, we talked about how, there was the American basketball player for the Detroit Pistons back in the 80s, Vinnie Johnson, as Shaquille Johnson gets called for the offensive foul. Vinnie Johnson, nicknamed the microwave because he heats up so quickly. I think we kind of maybe nicknamed Guy Deodato the air fryer because he gets hot even faster than a microwave. And I said you could put... Yeah, exactly. I said you could put Guy Deodato into the game in just the last 2 minutes of each quarter, and he could probably still get you 12 to 15 points a game.
Well, Craig, his last 3 games, 23, 20, and 29 points. So he's on a high note as of late.
Turnover in the paint for Paisas, but Flamengo do not have numbers. But nice feed to Ruan Miranda, and did they call Robinson for the foul? I believe they did. Borges left it for the trailer, Ruan Miranda, and he will go to the free throw line. Miranda in this tournament, a 57% free throw shooter. Too strong on the first. Don't forget, one more game coming up after this one. It's going to be Real Esteli and Boca Juniors from Managua. Esteli lead that series 1-0. Esteli and Boca expected to be one of the more competitive quarterfinals, although we had Quimsa and Franca unexpectedly go to 3 games.
Yeah. Both Boca and Esteli, Craig, shared groups with Flamengo and Paisas, respectively.
Ruan Miranda with the tip dunk. Flamengo with their biggest lead of the game at 7 as we approach 6 minutes to play in this first quarter. Summers muscles his way into the lane and draws the foul. So Summers will go to the stripe. Beg your pardon, that was Eric Griffin. Griffin, a 76.5% free throw shooter. And I think after watching what we've seen so far in the quarterfinals, I think if we were to reconfigure the power rankings, unofficially, of course, I think Flamengo is a solid number 1, and I think Franca, who I had at number 2, I don't know if Franca is that high. They struggled against Quimsa. They were very un-Franca-like from outside, and Quimsa stayed with them for about 2.5 quarters last night and then ran out of gas.
Yeah, for sure, Craig. Well, Quimsa's got part of the champion. They were, or still are, the former champion. But it was just too much for them, winning 2 straight games in Brazil after dropping their first home game.
And they could have won that game as well.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. With a pretty take. Score that bucket. And so a possible 3-point play for Paisas.
Yeah, that's the person who needs to show up for Paisas. The score, Liz, as you said, 27 points per game for the Dominican Republic player.
So the first 3 points of the game for Victor Liz. And if I had to make the most safe bet, if my life depended on it, I would bet that those would not be Victor Liz's only 3 points of the game. Count the bucket as Darrell Summers will... No, don't count that bucket. Darrell Summers will go to the free throw line. Got a little excited there. I thought that was going to fall in.
But Paisas, Craig, going to the basket, trying to force contact, and trying to earn it at the stripe.
I do like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got the size. You've got Thomas Robinson at 6'9", 206 centimeters. Eric Griffin, 6'8", 203. Darrell Summers, 6'8", 202. And Liz at only 6'2", 188. He can penetrate and elevate, even at 38 years old.
Of course.
So the Summers free throw get Paisas back within 4 at 12-8. Inside 5 minutes to play in this first quarter. We referred to Quimsa and Franca last night. Franca advancing to the finals, or rather the semifinals, with the 84-73 win over Quimsa. That series went the full 3 games, and also last night it was Instituto over Minas. So 2 of our semifinalists already have their tickets punched. Both of those series went the full 3. I think last year 3 of our 4 quarterfinals went 3 games as well. And Franca, they had to be breathing a sigh of relief after getting eliminated last year in the quarters as Jordan Williams strikes from outside, getting eliminated in the quarters by Hebraica Maccabi in a shocking upset. They did not want to go out again. Miranda blocks that shot out of bounds. It'll stay with Paisas. Lead back to 7 as we get a look at the tray by Jordan Williams. Shooting 31% from the arc coming into this one. He's got 5 already. Summers a little too strong after the pretty move into the lane. And now Flamengo looking for their biggest lead. Shaq Johnson hangs in the air but couldn't get it to go. A foul called, however, and he will go to the line for a pair. Johnson, a 76% free throw shooter. Foul on Darrell Summers.
You know, Craig, you got a good memory because 3 of the 4 quarterfinal playoff series last year did go the full 3 games. Halcones beating Nacional of Uruguay in 3. Quimsa beating Real Estelí.
Oh, that series. That series between Halcones and Nacional. Oh, that was an absolute blast. Those 3 games were about the most fun that I've ever called. The atmosphere in both places, just tremendous.
And actually, the only team that won both of their games that didn't need to force a deciding third was Flamengo, beating Obras.
Right. And didn't one of those quarters for between Halcones and Nacional, didn't one of those go to double overtime? And Paul Stoll either tied
game
it.
2. Yeah.
Paul Stoll with about a 30-footer. Oh, the alley-oop! Jordan Williams climbing the sky wire and throwing it down with the right hand.
Wow. Incredible. Highlight reel. You got it. Terrific alley-oop pass and the hammer from Jordan Williams, forcing a timeout.
Daniel Seoane indeed takes timeout, and Jordan Williams, he's gonna have that one on his highlight reel on his phone forever when he shows his grandkids. And he's gonna say, look at what I did at age 31.
No question. The hops.
For you, cause if I want it, then it's mine. That's what I'm saying to you. If it ain't hard, you better leave. You try and cross me, then you dead to me. Cause I'm in the business of making enemies, and there's a good chance that you may never leave. You feeling comfortable, you should never be. Cause I bring the pain if we should ever meet. Tonight, you should really find a lifeline. Outlaws come alive in the nighttime.
Welcome in once again to Maracanazinho in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Alongside Andy Schimmelman, I'm Craig Feda. Welcome to all our viewers in the USA on FanDuel TV, in South America on DirecTV, and around the rest of the world on the BCL America's YouTube channel and Courtside 1891. Jordan Williams now with 7 points on 3 of 4 shooting, and boy, oh boy, I'm sure we're going to see that replay again, but did he get up there? I saw the alley-oop pass, and I'm like, nah, that's too high. Jordan Williams, I don't think so. So it's 19-8, biggest lead of the game now for Flamengo as we approach 3.5 minutes to play in this first quarter. Summers to his right around Taya Galizzi, kicks it out for 3. No good, but the rebound to Alvaro Pena. Maceo McCadney into the game as well for Paisas. Kaijo Manfio has taken a seat for Flamengo. Lucas Seward on. And Ruan Miranda getting a rest as well. Replaced by Galizzi. Robinson swings it right side, now into the corner. Thrown away.
Well, you know, Craig, Sergio Hernandez, Oveja Hernandez, and Taya Galizzi know each other really, really well from their days in the Argentine national team. Hernandez, the coach that was runner-up in the 2019 World Cup, played in China. Runner-up to Spain, of course.
Johnson's turnaround jumper misses. Here comes Lees with the finger roll. Lees now with 5. Now Borges. Kick out long 3 on the way from Seward. That missed. Rebound pulled down by Robinson, but stolen away and back up strong. I believe that was Johnson. To 10 now. Jumper over the back of the backboard, and now stolen away. Gordon Williams again going up with the right hand and throwing it down.
Athleticism to get the steal and then outrun everybody. 9 points already for Williams.
Please. Step back 3. Well, he put Borges on the deck with that move, too. Couldn't make the highlight reel tray, though. Johnson, the spin move, trying to get away from Lees, but loses his footing. Kick outside now to Seward again for 3. That one's good!
Now, all of a sudden, Flamengo up 16. An outburst by the Brazilian team late in this first.
A 7-0 run by Flamengo. Now McCadney tries to answer, can't get it. Rebound by Summers. Pardon, I believe that was Robinson. He goes up and draws the foul. That was indeed Robinson, but an offensive foul? Yeah. And if we misidentify players, we apologize in advance. The uniforms on Paisas, for as sharp as they are, those yellow numbers on the white jerseys are sometimes difficult to distinguish from far away. Now here comes Borges. Tries to feed it to Galisi. Could not do it. Out of bounds, and it'll be Paisas ball with 42 seconds to play in the first quarter.
This game, Craig, was 12-8 Flamengo with 4:53 left in the first. It's a 14-2 run for Flamengo to make it 26-10.
I like your math skills there, partner. I would have had to have taken off my shoes to add that up. McCadney trying to shake Balby. Finally takes it all the way himself with the right hand. Nice work by Maceo McCadney, getting his first points of the game. 20 seconds to play, first quarter. And look who's into the game. Deodato. Might not want to leave him alone, as I'm sure everybody on Paisas are aware. Now Dos Santos is free. (29-12) following the three-pointer by Jonathan Dos Santos. When you think of three-pointers, you don't usually think about Dos Santos, but he's shooting 32% from the arc coming into this one, and he steps up and strokes that one at the end of the first quarter to give Flamengo a 17-point lead heading into the second. Flamengo 11 of 18 from the floor overall, 4 of 7 from three-point range, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Paisas just 4 of 15 overall, 1 of 6 from the arc, and 3 of 5 from the free throw line. Flamengo 11 rebounds in that first quarter. Paisas with 8. Paisas already 7 turnovers. Flamengo with 3. Individually for Flamengo, Dos Santos 3 points, Jordan Williams 9. Akil Johnson 7. Caio Manfio 2. Lucas Stewart 3. Ruan Miranda 3. Alexi Borges 2. Borges already 4 assists. Manfio already 4 rebounds. And for Paisas, Juan Salcedo with 3, Maceo McCadney 2, Eric Griffin 1, Victor Lease 5, and Darrell Summers 1. And Andy Schimmelman, even though it's going to be hard to stay with Flamengo when they put up 29 points in a quarter, Victor Lease is going to need some help. You got nothing out of Thomas Robinson in that first quarter, 1 from Griffin, 1 from Summers.
Yeah.
And they've got to find a way to get some offense.
For sure. Yeah. Only the 3 by Juan Salcedo very early, but yeah, it all fell apart, really. Craig, in that 14-2 run we were mentioning, Flamengo getting a lot of bodies involved, a lot of offensive individuals. You talked about the late 3 by Dos Santos. If you focus on Guy Deodato, they find Dos Santos. Jordan Williams, of course, having his very spectacular opening quarter. Alexei Borges, but now Franco Balbi, a very experienced point guard, comes in. It's just a very tough team to try to guard.
Yeah, it's almost really an embarrassment of riches for Flamengo when you got guys like Deodato and Balbi coming off the bench, Galizzi.
Yeah.
You know, Lucas Sewert's no slouch either. You know, that's a starting 5 for some other teams. Three-pointer from the corner is up and good. That was Alvaro Pena, by the way, member of the Colombian national team. Played just 3 minutes on Sunday. 0 for 1 from the arc, but hitting his first attempt here tonight.
One of the
on the floor for Flamengo, it's and Seoane has had no qualms about bringing in players to augment his roster. So on the floor for Flamengo, it's Deodato, Balbi, Dos Santos, Sewert, and Galizzi. And for Paisas, it's Christian Arboleda, Justin Llerena, Maceo McCadney, Alvaro Pena, and Victor Lease. Lease has played every second of this game so far. And at 38 years old, I don't know how he does it. And that right there is the one bugaboo on Victor Lease. He tends to turn the ball over. 25 points on Sunday, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, but 7 turnovers. And you can live with some of those when he puts up 25 to 35 points a game, but when you're struggling to come back, every possession is precious. Open 3 from the left wing, no good. Rebound tapped and controlled by Paisas. McCadney will go to the free throw line. He's 3 of 4 from the stripe in this event.
Yeah, it's a heavy burden for Lease. You mentioned it, Craig, not sitting in the entire quarter. Seoane knows that he needs offense to try to keep up, to try to match Flamengo, or at least attempt a comeback. But also, on the other side, the scouting is being done by Oveja Hernandez. They know that they have to lock down Lease. It's a chess match that's going on right now.
$30 to 17. It's been all Flamengo in this one. Balbi the kick out. 3 on the way from Sewert. Nope. Another offensive rebound. Deodato nearly has his pocket picked, and finally does. Doesn't anybody want this ball? Finally, Dos Santos takes it, and a foul committed by Justin Llerena. And after that, with that right arm, Lucky that wasn't an unsportsmanlike.
Yeah. I was thinking the same. Clearly attempting to keep the...
Yeah, he didn't play the ball at all, which I'm actually a little surprised that you're not seeing more protests from Sergio or anybody else on Flamengo, for that matter.
And it is a play that, Craig, that could be challenged. Although,
yeah, that's what I thought. Lead back to 15. 8:10 to play second quarter. Lease kicks it out, turns it over. 2-on-1 for Flamengo. Gadado all the way himself with the left hand. Paisas want timeout again. Lead back to 17. And Flamengo well on their way to a berth in the semifinal. Leading 34-17 with 8 minutes to play in the second quarter. Still plenty of basketball to be played, but it's not like Flamengo is shooting 11 of 13 from three-point range or anything. They are playing a solid game at both ends of the floor. (34-17) in favor of Flamengo. They took a 3-0 lead on the first bucket of the game, and they have not looked back as Flamengo look to return to the semifinals again. Flamengo won this tournament in 2021. They've come in second 3 times, including last year, losing in the finals to Quimsa. Flamengo has looked very, very strong this entire tournament, except they stubbed their toe once against Boca in February. They got blown out by 25, and then they turned around and returned the favor.
Yeah, that was an amazing performance. The best performance by Boca in this tournament, led by Pepe Vildosa, with the Flamengo team that was already qualified, but still, very, very impressive. And for Paisas, 3-3 their record in group play, second in Group A behind Real Estelí.
Paisas started off 0-2, and then they brought in Victor Liz and Eloy Vargas, and their fortunes changed. Yeah, Group A didn't play in December, so they played that double window, and there were some exciting games in Group A in a short period of time.
Right, yeah. They actually started their first of 3 windows when the other 3 groups were wrapping up their second of 3 windows. So, shot clock violation here.
Yeah, they played back-to-back weeks, I believe.
Yeah, for sure. So far, Craig, it's not been the game that Thomas Robinson was looking for.
No, so far, he's 0 for 3.
Yeah, a couple of turnovers like the one we just saw. Maybe, still thinking about that play you mentioned earlier in game.
Oh, that was so heartbreaking. And you could see it just a couple of plays later, too. He had gotten fouled or something, and he was out of bounds, and he just kind of bent over, and he had his head in his hands. You know he was thinking about that play from a minute earlier, and you could just see the anguish. He knew how important that was. And again, in his defense, he had been having a great game. He wasn't trying to showboat or anything. He was just trying to get his team fired up. And stuff like that sometimes just happens. Not the way he wanted to spend his 34th birthday, which is coming up in 3 days.
There you see Caio Manfio returning. And Robinson going to the line. Too strong there. One of the only advantages right now for Paisas compared to Flamengo. At least they've gone to the line more often, but they've not been able to capitalize.
Second free throw is good. And now Borges rattles that one in from long range. And Flamengo can do no wrong tonight.
Yeah. Now,
and
Greg,
the lead
5
is 21.
three-pointers. I was going to say 5 3-pointers for Flamengo from 5 different players. That also adds, an extra element of concern. You don't know who's it going to be next, and they left Borges open, and they made him pay for it.
I think they call that offensive diversity.
Yeah, I think they do.
You know who Caio Manfio reminds me of? And
Who?
Manfio just doesn't have quite as much size, but the same kind of young player who's going to have an impact for a long time. That's Lee Alija of Instituto.
Oh.
They got that long wingspan. They're explosive, and they can take over a game. If I think Alija is going to be really special.
Hopefully, yeah. One of the more intriguing prospects.
Oh, there's Guy from straight on, and he buries that one.
The air fryer.
I don't know. What heats up faster than an air fryer? Plutonium, maybe? I don't know.
Really know. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. A space rocket or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And you can add one more 3 by a different man.
Oh. Lead up to 24. That one falls in, though, for I believe that was Durrell Summers. Back-to-back triples for Deodato, but now back-to-back buckets for Paisas as Thomas Robinson gets his first points. He's got 4 now after those last 2 buckets. From the corner, yes! Jordan Williams. And it's 48-25. Williams, his 3rd dunk of the game. It's a one-man dunk show.
Wow. What an outburst. Doubling up on the score right now, Flamengo to Paisas, 50-25, 14 points for Jordan Williams. and 8 of 14 from three-point range, 57% Flamengo. If they're going to shoot like this, Craig, it's going to be very, very tough.
Yeah, I don't... really, the only team I think that could match them is Franca if they get hot, but Franca has just been brutal from three-point range the last 3 games.
This is Williams.
Oh, Williams.
His third dunk.
Craig, he barely got that one over. He might lay the next one up if he gets the opportunity.
Yeah. Of course, the big highlight in the first quarter, the alley-oop, that's going to go all over social media for sure.
So Ron Miranda to the free throw line. He's 1 of 2 tonight. 3:42 to play here in the second. Miranda misses the first. Again, a big hello to all our viewers in the USA on FanDuel TV, in South America on DirecTV, and everywhere else around this great big wide world of ours on the BCL America's YouTube channel and Courtside 1891. He's Andy Schimmelman. I'm Craig Fada. Hope you've been enjoying this one so far. If you are a fan of Flamengo, you certainly are. Paisas? Not so much.
Not
folks
so
in
much,
Medellin. Probably biting their lip watching this one a little bit as Robinson stumbles and turns it over. Oh my! Williams for 3. He's got 17 points now.
Unstoppable. Truly unstoppable. The Flamengo offense from 3. Getting steals, outrunning everybody, dunking, at least in Jordan Williams' case. His third 3 in 4 tries. Give him 17 points, plus a couple rebounds and a steal.
I mean, you could say this is a one-man wrecking crew, a one-man show. But really, everybody's doing it for Flamengo. Deodato has 10 points in just 7 minutes. Borges, 8 assists and 5 points. $19 of 29 overall is Flamengo. 65% from the floor.
Yeah.
They're 10 of 14 from inside the arc. I mean, I don't care who you are, you're going to have a hard time beating that.
No question, no question. Very, very focused. And we saw Sergio Hernandez a couple of minutes ago, and his demeanor from the sideline was, let's just keep it going. Let's not make a big deal out of it. Just keep playing and try to keep up the intensity.
Summers misses that pull-up and a foul on the rebound.
Already 5 in the quarter for Paisas. And if this is a loose
Second
ball foul, this should be free throws. Yeah, this is going to be free throws for Flamengo since they were already over the foul limit.
Yep. So it's Dos Santos to the free throw line. 3 of 4 from the stripe tonight. Make it 4 of 5.
What a terrific day we had yesterday, Craig, with the 2 game 3s. Instituto winning in Brazil, beating Minas. And then Franca holding on at home against Quimsa. First 2 tickets to the Final Four.
And you mentioned Quimsa playing with the heart of a champion. It helps when you get Brandon Robinson back. And
no question.
Quimsa barely squeaking into the quarters, but getting Brandon Robinson back, they suddenly became dangerous, as Franca found out. And that just changed the entire complexion of that team.
Well, he's a big-time player, as you said. A man who who enjoys and relishes those opportunities. He was actually, MVP last year.
Yeah, last year.
In the final against Flamengo.
Oh, and a foul called on that block. That's going to be number 3 on Griffin. I believe Brandon Robinson, last year was his second MVP, wasn't it?
Yeah. On the initial edition of this tournament, also won by Kimsa. He was MVP.
And I'm not sure what Eric Griffin was. Oh, he was talking about the off-arm clearing out. I mean, he definitely committed the foul. We saw that on that replay, which, by the way, great camera work. Great job by production showing that angle. I would put this production staff up against anybody in the world. With the replays and the graphics and the sound. Every once in a while, though, Andy, I expect him to just turn my microphone off. This guy, man, he just won't shut up. The lead is 26. Flamengo have led this entire game. Their biggest lead was 29 at 56-27 just a few moments ago.
And a lot of fouls piling on for Paisas. Now this will be free throws, 15 and 16 for Flamengo. The only one in foul trouble right now, Griffin with 2.
Manfio and Galici with 2 apiece for Flamengo, but of course when you're up by almost 30, it's not as big of an impact. Griffin scores with 1:15 to play in this second quarter. Johnson. Oh, beautiful feed, but poked out of there by Darrell Summers and a whistle.
That's going to be 2 on Summers. Getting a little bit of a hand there after the beautiful feed, as you said, Craig, and Miranda getting some free throws here.
It's one of those, if you're Summers.
Yeah.
If you're Summers and you get called for that foul, you look at the official and go, come on, man, we're down 27.
Right.
Just give me that one, would you? Second free throw, no good. And another turnover for Paisas, and then they nearly steal it away. Oh, what a catch and shoot by Ruan Miranda. The alley-oop was thrown a little bit too high and behind him. He caught it, brought it back down, scooped it, and put it up with the other hand. Athletic play by the big man, and another three-pointer. Oh, my word. Jordan Williams.
$20 points in the first half alone.
That Three short. Now up ahead to Williams again. Leaves it behind him, and Shaquille Johnson goes up and dunks it. And the second quarter mercifully comes to a close for Paisas. They walk off the court stunned by this offensive explosion by Paisas, or rather by Flamengo. My goodness.
Incredible, Craig, really. Again, doubling up the score, 66-33. A 33-point lead for Flamengo. Looks like they're wrapping up the series. We're still going to have to go, and it could get interesting, but right now, looks like there's no stopping Flamengo. 20 points for Jordan Williams, 11 for Ron Miranda, 10 for Guido. That in just 7 minutes. And 10 for 16 from the three-point line. 62.5%. Just shooting it lights out in this first half.
You described it perfectly, my friend. And I remember in the first half, Victor Lees had that three-pointer, and I said if I were a betting man, I would bet those would not be his only 3 points of the game. Well, he only scored 2 more. Lees with only 5. Yeah. Lees has 5, right. Summers 5, Griffin 5, Robinson 6, but for as explosive as Flamengo were in that first half, Paisas struggling. 12 of 32 overall, 37%, just 2 of 9 from the arc, 7 of 10 from the free throw line. Paisas out-rebounding Flamengo 17-16, including 9-4 on the offensive glass, but when you're shooting almost 70% overall, you don't have a lot of opportunities at offensive rebound. The other big number, Paisas 16 first half turnovers. And one of the numbers that I want to look at here is points off turnovers. Flamengo 24 points off turnovers in that first half, 33 fast break points. And the bench outscoring Paisas 19-9. All those numbers, sometimes the numbers can be a little misleading, but these tell the story pretty accurately. It's a 66-33 lead for Flamengo at the half. Coming up after this one, it's going to be Real Estelí and Boca Juniors live from Polideportivo Alexis Arguello in Managua, 7:40 p.m. local time, 9:40 Eastern Daylight in the USA. We are back with second half action live from Maracanazinho in Rio de Janeiro in just a few moments.
As últimas notícias, estatísticas e melhores momentos da partida, visite o site oficial da Clássica Champions League Américas. Siga também toda a ação do campeonato pelo X, Facebook, Instagram e YouTube oficial do torneio, @BCL Américas.
Welcome in once again to Maracanazinho in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, for tonight's Basketball Champions League America's quarterfinal Game 2 matchup between Paisas of Medellin and Flamengo, right here in Rio. Flamengo with a 1-0 series lead by virtue of their 17-point win on Sunday. And while that might sound like a huge spread, that game was it could have been a 4-point spread with 5 minutes to play. But Flamengo stepped on the accelerator for the final 5 minutes and pulled away. This one, the closest it was, I believe, was 3-0 after Flamengo got the first ball. It's been all Flamengo since then, as they ended the first half with a 66-33 lead, their biggest of the game. And Jordan Williams picks right up where he left off in the first half. Jordan Williams had 20 points on 8 of 9 shooting, now 22, 9 of 10. Alongside Andy Schimmelman, my name's Craig Feta. Thanks so much for joining us wherever you're tuned in from, around the Americas or around the world. In the USA on FanDuel TV, in South America on DirecTV, and everywhere else on the BCL Americas YouTube channel, and Courtside 1891. Well, Andy, we know Paisas can be explosive offensively, but I don't think even they could match what Flamengo did in the first half here.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Craig. I think it's going to take a small miracle, or perhaps a large miracle, for them to get back in this game already. Jordan Williams showing off his scoring outburst and his tremendous performance tonight with the 22 points. He's only missed a 3 out of his 10 total shots taken.
Five of 5 from 2-point range, 4 of 5 from 3-point range. As Victor List gets 2 more, and he's got 7. Miranda missing the layup at the other end, and it's a 2-on-1. High off the window, it won't go for Salcedo. Williams with the give underneath to Miranda. He draws the foul. Victor Martin, that was not a foul. Yes. Did they say he traveled?
No. Yeah.
Yep. They got him for steps.
I thought it was a foul, too. Would have been third for Griffin.
From the corner missed. Rebound, Shaquille Johnson. That's his 6th. Gorgeous. And Flamengo have missed a few shots here. Unfortunately, Paisas have not been able to take advantage, although they get the foul there on Johnson. And phrase I always use when you're faced with a seemingly difficult, insurmountable task, it's an old kid's joke. What's the best way to eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And that's what Paisas have to do here. They just take one bite of this elephant at a time. You never know what can happen. Of course, you can't miss free throws.
Doesn't help for sure.
As you mentioned in the first half, that alley-oop dunk for Johnson, or rather Jordan Williams, is going to be all over social media. And sure enough, the great comm staff for FIBA Americas, they've already got that one up. Facebook and Instagram. Griffin. Boy, a great move, just couldn't get it to go. Another miss for Flamengo. And, as you said, it would take a large miracle, but, a team shooting as hot as Flamengo was, having 5 straight possessions or so without a bucket, well, somebody's walking on water a little bit. Take advantage of it.
They're going to get another opportunity here to raise a few points from their deficit from the foul line.
This is Thomas Robinson. 2 for 3 from the stripe tonight. Hits that one. Thomas Robinson, in this event in 2023, set a BCL Americas record with 14 two-point field goals in one game. He averaged 17.6 points per game and 10.4 rebounds per contest with Real Estelí in 2023. As Alexi Borges escapes for the left-hand lay-in. Robinson, Big 12 Player of the Year at Kansas in 2012, consensus first-team All-American, and the ESPN.com Player of the Year, drafted 5th overall in 2012 by Sacramento. Played for 6 different teams in the NBA for 5 years, and then a good career overseas. 313 games in the NBA. That's more than just a cup of coffee.
Yeah, no question. Johnson saying that somebody knocked the ball off his hands. You see Borges, his layup. Very talented Alexei Borges, who, as Craig pointed out at the opening, flirted with a triple-double last game.
Yeah.
9 stat line.
He's on the verge of a double-double right now. He's got 9 points, 9 assists.
Yeah, he's come onto the scene this year, or well, starting in 2024. He's actually pushed.
There's Jordan Williams again. 5 of 6 now from outside, and he's got 25 points.
Automatic tonight in the Maracanazinho, Jordan Williams. That 3 was blocked.
I think if Jordan Williams came out of this game and sat on the bench and they passed him the ball, he'd hit. And now Flamengo starting to heat up again. Perhaps the opportunity for Paisas to make some headway has gone by the boards as Flamengo has started to pour the points in once again after missing on a number of possessions. I think they went 5 or 6 possessions without a point. As we look at another splash from Jordan Williams.
They found the connection once again. First Williams, then Johnson. Already leading this third quarter, 12-7. Adding on to their lead, about to climb to 40 points now. Well, I was going to say cut short, but Paisas keep missing from the foul line. Salcedo.
That was Salcedo's first free throw attempt in BCLA play this year. Paisas now 10 of 15, 11 of 16 now from the free throw line. This Flamengo team, when they are on, they are fun to watch. They can hurt you from so many different angles. And there's Borges again. Three straight three-pointers by Flamengo, by 3 different players. As Justin Llorena goes off the window. That time, Stewart can't hit from long range. That would have been something. 4 3-pointers in a row from 4 different players. Nice take there by Eric Griffin. And Griffin now with 7. Jordan Williams gets to the left elbow, drops it for Galizzi. Galizzi has a tire go out from under him and loses the ball.
And there comes Deodato once again.
Mr. Electricity, Guy Deodato.
Yeah.
Shot blocked. Robinson, a whirling dervish into the lane, but turning it over.
Yeah, almost knocking up our cameraman right there. I think he's going to go over to the bench. Substitution made by Daniel Seoane.
Borges now, 2:50 to play in this third quarter. Short by Deodato, but Santos gets it after the offensive rebound by Taya. Taya banging, changes hands and goes up with the right mitt and puts it in.
Good move. First securing the offensive rebound and then working in the post by the former Quinza man.
Feed inside the paint. The reverse won't go, but there for the putback is Cardenas. And Cardenas will go to the free throw line to try to complete the three-point play. Not sure if you know Leo Margo, but he taught me a little bit of Spanish. Yeah, I would think you would. But he taught me the doble falta, which is what Cardenas just had there.
You're a natural, right? Sounds very good.
Appreciate that. I do try.
Yeah. Shout out to Leo, good friend of mine.
Well, if I ever get down to Argentina again, I'm going to look both of you up.
Don't hesitate. We'll have you over for a barbecue or an asado, as we like to say.
Oh, I tell you, when I was there in 2017, I don't remember whose house we were at, but we had one of those asados, and it was amazing. The FIBA staff they had over, and it was just unbelievable.
I bet.
I absolutely love Buenos Aires. See Casa Rosada, El Ateneo. Oh, and the right hand finish! Taya Galizzi!
Wow. Add one more to the highlight reel. We had the Jordan Williams dunk in the first half and the Taya Galizzi in the second after a beautiful Beautiful feed behind the back.
And you know what's frustrating for Paisas? They have had a lot of good looks, a lot of good moves like that one right there. As we look at the Thunder. Galisi. They've had a lot of great moves to the basket. They've had a lot of open looks. They're just, man, they're not falling. And I'm not saying that, you know, we'd be looking at an 86-84 game here or anything, but it's just so deflating when you're down, especially, and you make a good move to the bucket, and just for whatever reason, gravity doesn't work with you.
It's one of those off nights, right? For Paisas, they are 2 for 15 from 3. They do score there with Christian Arboleda.
But then Dos Santos at the other end.
Yeah,
oh my.
It's just, again, the word is deflating. Because you score, but then you concede a 3 right after. Just very, very tough when you give up. Well, listen to this, Greg. Flamengo scored 89 total last game, so they have 89 now with a full quarter to go.
Wow. 3 on the way at the end of the third quarter. No good. And the horn sounds at the end of 3. 89-50. Flamengo. 10 more minutes until they officially punch their ticket to the semifinals next month. As we look at the gaudy numbers on this one for the hosts, 31 of 48 overall, 64.6%, 14 of 25 from three-point range, 56%, 13 of 20 from the free throw line. Paisas, by contrast, 18 of 52. They've actually taken more shots than Flamengo. But they've only shot 34.6%, just 2 of 16 from the arc. Victor Liz crashing back to earth in this game after averaging 27 points per game. He's only got 7 through 3 quarters, 0 for 6 from the arc. Paisas 12 of 17 from the free throw line. 18 turnovers for Paisas, 11 for Flamengo. Individually, Guy Deodato 11 points. Jonathan Dos Santos now with 11. Jordan Williams 25. Williams also with 6 rebounds. Shaquille Johnson 12 points, 6 boards, 4 dimes. Kaijo Manfio 2 points. Lucas Seward 3. Ruan Miranda 9 points. Alexi Borges has his double-double. 12 points, 10 assists, I should say. Maybe he'll get 10 rebounds in the third quarter, fourth quarter. Who knows? And Taija Galisi, 4 points. For Paisas, Thomas Robinson, the Kansas All-American, 10 points, 5 boards. Juan Cardenas, 3 points. Juan Salcedo, 4. Christian Arboleda, 4. Justin Llerena, 2 points. Messio McCadney, 4. Eric Griffin, 7. Alvaro Pena, 3 points. Victor Liz, 7 points on 3 of 14 shooting. And Darrell Summers, 6 points. And you have to think that 3 for 14 by Victor Liz has to be by design. Not, of course, designed by Paisas and Daniel Seoane, but Sergio Hernandez, Oveja had to have made some defensive adjustment to have somebody on Victor Liz and make life miserable for him in this game. And if that indeed was the strategy, mission accomplished. We are underway here in the fourth quarter. Flamengo up by 39. Biggest lead of the game was 40. In this game 2 of the BCL Americas quarterfinals. Flamengo looking to be the third team entered into the semis after Instituto defeated Minas last night. in Belo Horizonte on the home floor of Minas. And then Franca in Game 3 defeated Quimsa 84-73. Alongside Andy Schimmelman, my name is Craig Fada. Thanks so much for joining us wherever you're tuned in from, around the Americas or around the world. On FanDuel TV in the United States, on DirecTV in South America, and everywhere else on the BCL Americas YouTube channel and FIBA's Courtside 1891. So, Andy, unless the heavens come crashing to earth and Flamengo do not win this game, we are going to have two Brazilian teams and one from Argentina in the semis with one more quarterfinal decided. We could have another team from Argentina if Boca Juniors win tonight. And if Real Estelí win, they will have an opportunity in Game 3 to be the only team not from Argentina or Brazil, as Real Estelí, of course, from Nicaragua, El Tren del Norte.
Yeah, and Nicaragua, Craig, the country that will host this year's FIBA American Cup.
Yes.
In a couple of months.
Looking forward to that. Hope to get to call a few games in that event. Was in Mexico City for the 15 Men's America Cup. In Edmonton for the women's that year. And then in Argentina, Uruguay in 17. Covered both the men's and women's events. In 17. I have to say how grateful I am to have this relationship with FIBA and FIBA Americas, to do all these games over the past 10 years, since my first tournament in 2015 in a sub-zone, the Caribbean Basketball Confederation, to the men's and women's tournaments in the British Virgin Islands in 2015, and off to the races after that. And I have just absolutely fallen in love with international basketball on both the men's and women's side. Had the opportunity to work some Olympic qualifiers, pre-qualifiers, some U19 World Cups as well, but working primarily here in Americas. I've done some 3x3, and that's a lot of fun to do as well. And it's gotten to the point that I appreciate the international game so much, I hardly watch any American basketball anymore. Believe it or not. These players play with such energy and passion. And you'll see that amplified in the AmeriCup tournament when the players, instead of having their pro club team on their chest, they have their nation on their chest. And I've seen teams down 40, 50, 60 points. When you get a team like Brazil playing against a smaller country in one of the group phase games. I remember the Brazilian women won a game, I think, by 80 points, and the team that was down, may have been Chile. They were still diving on the floor for balls. Maybe, I can't remember if it was Chile. They were in red and white, but they were still diving on the floor down 60, 70 points. It's just remarkable to watch. So I am a fan of the international game for life. Had a chance in 2015 as well to go with a local pro team that I was involved with here in the USA. On a 3-week tour of China. Played 11 games over there. Played against the Cuban national team over there, some Chinese first division teams. And one of the remarkable things is the standards that FIBA have set around the world, and they continue to implement those standards and game protocols and everything. So it doesn't matter where you are, you're not going to see a lot of variation in the games, in the administration of the games. And it's really just a fantastic thing. And of course, what FIBA have done over the last few years, getting more women involved as coaches, on the men's side as coaches, as officials, officiating in men's games, the women broadcasting program, as FIBA continue to grow this marvelous game around the world. Oh, what a great inbound play. And Keith Deodato elevates and banks it in. The lead back to 40. Matches their biggest of the game. Incredibly in this game, Andy, the biggest run for Paisas, just 4. Usually, even a team that's getting blown out will, put up 6 or 8 in a row. And by contrast, Flamengo's biggest run has only been 10. You'd think they'd have a 14 or 16 point run. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's just been very, very consistent, right? On the Flamengo side, on the Mengao side. They've just found multiple ways to keep scoring. Whenever they rotate players in and out, or we get a shot clock violation on Paisas. Free ball has just been terrific. Again, now it's 15 for 29 with that last bucket. It's a 51.7%, but on a heavy volume. That's how you get to 97 points in a FIBA game, which you know very well is not so common.
And when a team shoots 50% or more from beyond the arc, it's like, oh, great, they shot 5 of 10. But this is 15 of 29. Lead now 43, biggest of the game. And I think it's a foregone conclusion that Flamengo will hit the century mark.
Oh, yeah.
Andres Carmona hits from 3-point range.
And,
Carmona coming into this one was 2 of 15 from the arc. Go ahead there, partner.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, it's of course a tough way to go out for Paisas, where you really weren't able to compete in this game, but we still have to highlight and show some love to the Colombian squad. It's their first ever performance, their first ever appearance, rather, in this competition, and to make it all the way into the quarterfinals and to play against a club like Flamengo. They did compete in the first game. You mentioned how close it could have become, or it did become at one point. So I think for a debut, I'm sure they'll leave this BCL 2025 with a lot of experience and hope for the future.
Flamengo indeed does hit 100 points. And, if somebody's just tuning in onto this game and they think, oh my goodness, what are Paisas doing here in the quarterfinals? This is not representative of the Paisas we've seen. They just ran into an absolute, what we call in the USA, a buzzsaw. In Flamengo, right? In this game.
Right. Yeah.
And Flamengo has managed to hold Victor Liz to 7 points, 20 under his average. Into the game now for Flamengo, Luan Rodriguez.
Yeah, and also
Mateus Guerros.
Yeah. Sergio Hernandez playing his full 12 available players, giving some interesting minutes now to two of the youngsters.
Yeah. Rodriguez at 22 years old. Guerros at 20 years old. Guerros actually played in the December window. He had 3 minutes and 4 points against Toros de Chiriquí.
And before we start to wrap up the game, Craig, I do want to go back to one point you made earlier in the first half, and I do want to agree with you in putting Flamengo as the top team as we head into the Final Four. Because of their roster, of course, because of their talent, because of the way that they have dominated this series against Paisas, but also because of their new coach, Sergio Hernandez. Again, we mentioned it, a ton of experience at an international level, a runner-up as a coach in the FIBA World Cup in 2019, a bronze medalist, of course, in Beijing 2008 as well. So, right. I mean, you're talking about a man who knows his stuff and who's built for this kind of playoff games, elimination games. He can scout really, really well. And I think Flamengo has a true advantage right now on the bench. Not to diminish what Gustavo de Conti, Gustavinho, was doing before, but I think they have a good one with Oveja Hernandez.
We talk about that nickname, and I asked Leo Margo if he knew where it came from, and he said he did. When he was a child, Sergio had curly hair.
Right. That's why his nickname. For those who don't speak Spanish, Oveja means sheep.
Right.
Multiple-time champion in the Argentinian league with the club Peñarol, one of the bigger name clubs in the Argentine basketball league. Coached players like Chapo Nocioni, Facundo Campazzo, among others, Leonardo Gutierrez as well. And Greg, one of the biggest stars ever in FIBA, Luis Scola, also an ambassador for FIBA, is called Sergio Hernandez the most important and the most impactful head coach of his entire career.
Wow.
Yep. He said it publicly a couple of times, and they share a very important and meaningful bond together. It's not common to hear Luis Scola praise anybody, so You know, if he talks about Sergio Hernandez like that, you know he means it.
Yeah, some of those Argentinian national teams were something, with Scola and Facundo Campazzo and Nicola Laprovitola, Nocioni. Watching Facundo Campazzo was like watching a modern Argentine Pete Maravich. Some of the things he could do with the ball.
I like it. You know, I've never heard that comparison before. I like it. They share similar qualities, for sure.
Inside of a minute to play, 100-63. Eros gets his first 2 points of this game. First bucket since December. Juan Rodriguez hit on a free throw. So the only player not to score for Flamengo tonight, believe it or not, Franco Balbi. Of course, the veteran Balbi, his presence not really needed very much in this game. He only played 15 minutes. We haven't seen Jordan Williams in a while either, of course. And this one will go final. Flamengo punches their ticket to the Final Four with an impressive 102-65 win over Paisas of Medellin. So 3 of our 4 semifinalists are set, with Flamengo joining Franca and Instituto by virtue of their wins last night. Our second semifinal gets underway in about an hour and 50 minutes. 7:40 p.m. local time in Managua, 9:40 Eastern Daylight in the USA. For Flamengo, they ended up shooting 55.6% overall, 15 of 29 from the arc, 17 of 26 from the stripe. Paisas, 25 of 73. And again, they ended up shooting 10 more shots than Flamengo, but just 34.3%, 3 of 22 from three-point range, 12 of 17 from the free throw line. Paisas, 46 rebounds to 33 for Flamengo. Paisas, 22 turnovers, 12 for Flamengo. Individually, Guy Deodato, 18 points. Juan Rodriguez, 1. Jonathan Dos Santos, 11. Jordan Williams in just 23 minutes. How's this for efficiency? 25 points, 10 of 11 shooting, 5 of 6 from the arc, 6 rebounds. His plus-minus was 35. His efficiency was 33. Shaquille Johnson, 12 points, 6 boards, 4 assists. Caio Manfio, 2 points, 4 rebounds. Lucas Seward, 6. Rohan Miranda, 9. Alexi Borges, 12 points, 11 assists. His plus-minus was 36. Taita Galisi finished with 4. And Mateos Guerros, 2 points. For Paisas, their initial foray into Basketball Champions League Americas play comes to an end in the quarterfinals, as you said. An impressive debut for the Colombians. Thomas Robinson, 10 points, 5 boards, 3 steals. Juan Cardenas, 5 points, 7 boards. Juan Salcedo, 4 points. Christian Arboleda, 8 points, 14 rebounds for Arboleda. Christian Llarena, 4 points. Mestio McCadney, 4. Andres Carmona, 5. Eric Griffin, 7 points. Alvaro Pena, 5. Victor Liz, The only time he's been contained in 6 games. 7 points on 3 of 14 shooting, 0 for 6 from the arc for Least. And Darrell Summers rounds out the scoring at 6 points. Again, the final score, 102-65. Flamengo on to the semis. For my partner, Andy Schimmelman, my name is Craig Pena. Don't forget, we are back with Real Estelí and Boca Juniors at 7:40 p.m. local time in Managua, 9:40 p.m. Eastern Daylight in the USA. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and so long for now.